Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Astral Tourist, broadcasting live right here on planet Earth. Thanks so much for joining in. So, last night when I became lucid, I was already astral projecting and I was underwater. I don't usually like to go underwater that much. I can deal with it, but it's not my favorite place to be. Anyway, this blurry, murky looking alien figure was holding a tray out towards me with various items on it, and it was quickly explained to me that what we were doing was getting familiar with different objects, foods, and just forms, I guess, that these different beings use. And so I was supposed to choose on the tray, was it a food item, an instrument, or like a body part, even? So on that particular tray, I saw something that like resembled tentacles, um, and something like soft and gelatinous. So I thought that might be food. And then I was kind of like shoot a little bit into this other room that's off to the left where I saw other people. So I wasn't the only one there. This was kind of a class, I guess, or a meeting to learn. I guess I'll call it an astral class. I just wasn't the one teaching it this time. Sometimes I have these other ones where I'm the one in charge, and those were kind of fun too. So anyway, in this other room, oh, I wanted to mention the stone. Everything had like stone. There were stone walls, stone objects. The tables were stone, and besides that, there were those metal trays I just described. Um, so anyway, in this other room, there's this big television screen on the back wall, which I'm not sure if that was actually stone or not. It just looked kind of like a flat screen TV. And at this big stone table, there were other people there. So I was trying to talk to them and see where I was exactly and where they were from. And one very quickly telepathed very succinctly and clearly that he's from the Philippines. Another man told me he was from Japan. There was a third man who kinda gave me this look and then told me he was from Korea, and I couldn't tell if it was North or South Korea or if he just didn't mention it. He had really glossy hair too. I don't know what was up with his hair, but it was very, very shiny, and he seemed like a really, like, super professional, focused person that took care of every strand of hair or something, I don't know. And then there were these 2 other women there who told me they were from Boulder, and I think they meant Boulder, Colorado. And then there was me. So we had all completed the 4th module, there's supposed to be 5, and so the next, movie began to play, and so that's how this is working. We watch the show, and then we kinda get tested with these trays of items to see how much of the information we were able to retain and remember, including for waking up. So I guess I'm not gonna remember the first 3 modules. I must have zoned out or something, like people do in the astral, but I did remember that 4th one, and I wish I got a better look at these beings. They just kind of looked, I don't know, kinda octopusy or squid-like, but not exactly. And it was all kinda blurry, and everything was a little bit dark because it was underwater, even though things were more clear in that room. So it was kind of a fascinating one, even though it was rather short because during this fifth movie, there was talk about a bus or something. I think I was starting to wake up. My mind equates waking up with transportation. So there's this bus, and I was trying to say, no, I'm still busy. I know I have time to sleep in. I want to stay for the rest of this. But that didn't work, and I woke up. So unfortunately, that's all I can remember from that one. I believe this base is near Japan because the Japanese man was trying to tell me something more about it. And he was using different kinds of language, like formal and informal, but I just couldn't process it and I couldn't understand completely. But I think he's trying to tell me that this base is near his place, like Japan. So when I woke up, I did look up underwater alien bases and then also put in Japan, and I did not really find any, but I found that there is this Yonaguni monument, which is underwater. And these are ruins underwater, and a lot of the gray slabs did look very familiar. So I don't know. I don't think there are reports of there actually being an alien base there. Although I was reading there are many, many sightings in Japan of UAPs and UFOs. So maybe that has, something to do with it. It could be a hot spot, but I'm just not sure. And I didn't have time to do like a deep search on it. So just something to think about. So after that, I was able to fall asleep and pop out again using like back to bed method. I just flew around for a while. I ended up zoning out a little bit. And then while I was still out, I ended up, I think, just dreaming a little bit kind of over the top of where I was. There was something about this big stack of magazines, and in particular, in them was mixed in this postcard from the 1990s that somebody had sent to me, and I was trying to make it out. I couldn't make out the stamp. I was about to read the handwriting when this other girl came over, woman, I should say, and she was like, "That's mine. I found that." And I was kind of arguing with her a little bit, like, "No, that's for me." And I woke up during the conversation, and I'll never really know what the contents were, I guess, unless I can manage to find it again. So thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Have a great rest of the week.